All right, everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to start out talking about the tires. I got two different sets here that can go on this four-wheeler. Right here, I have a set of old ITP mud lights paired with a set of ITP hole shots for the front. These are what were on the four-wheeler set up for like drag racing in the mud. Over here, I have a set of Kenda sand geckos. As far as I can tell, these were made in 2007 based on the Julian date right here, along with the Kenda dune runners. There's a weird thing on these that I haven't quite figured out yet. On the rib of the tire, there's like a hard 90-degree angle here, but if you flip it over, you can see that this side is chamfered. So I'm not really sure yet what side would go towards the inside of the four-wheeler. I still got to figure out that if I go to use these, but I'm not at the dunes. Not going to the dunes for probably some amount of time. So I'm probably going to go with the ITPs for the first ride and messing around. That should be good enough. Okay, so I got the tires on it. This one I was checking for a leak, and I got a little leak right here on the inside of this big dent. Yeah, you can see this big dent right here. Somehow it leaks up here, not where the giant dent is. Still waiting on getting some bushings for the shocks. Those are actually in progress of being made by a machinist that I know. And I also got the chain put on, which was a pretty decent fit for just being something I found on the floor in a box. So we'll see how that tightens up when it sits on the ground, but that won't be until I have the shocks. Another thing I still have to do is gather all the parts to redo the fuel line for the fuel pump. The pressure line that goes to the injectors and crosses over. Still haven't touched that. Still got to find the right hose and the right clamps. So hopefully I can find those locally. I might have to order some stuff online. All right, went to the auto parts store. Turns out a lot of the auto parts stores don't carry that kind of fuel line stuff. So I got something that's rated for at least 100 psi. The stuff that was on it's rated for 400. But I know I'm not getting to 400 psi. So I got this as a temporary measure to go from this fitting onto the tank down to here on the regulator. Still couldn't find the pinch clamps, so I do need to still do my research on that. The other thing I did is I also picked up a pack of universal bushings, like rubber bushings, that I put in the top and bottom of these cut down shocks that I don't really care about. I only have one of the full-size ones at the moment because the other one's out being sized for bushings to run the full-size ones. So this should be good enough to set on the ground and maybe take a lap around the yard if it runs correctly. So we'll see how that goes. All right, time to start it up and see if we have any leaks before I take off on it. Let's see. It's in run. There's no way it's just dead. Oh no. Is it really? All right, well, I'll put the charger on it and see where that gets me. All right, so it started, but it seems to be smoking pretty bad this time. It wasn't doing that before, and I'm not sure why it started now. I had a couple loud backfires, but I think that's because the fuel system was still getting primed. But I'm gonna let this thing warm up and see if the smoke calms down. give it a small ride. Alright, so here it sits. It just got cooled down from that small ride. First thoughts on this, even with the very bad suspension, this thing handles. It corners very nicely. It's also the fastest four-wheeler I've probably ever ridden. I've ridden a lot faster dirt bikes, but for what this is, it is an absolute animal. And I can't wait to put it the rest of the way together, get all the loose ends taken care of, fix the fuel system, put all the fenders on it. But I'm gonna leave it here for now, and that'll be it for this video. Till next time.